What's going on, everybody? This is Joe Harper with Reformed Truther Ministries. Today's video is titled Hunting for Bigfoot in Itasca County, Minnesota. So we are at Itasca State Park today. You can see that we have Lake Itasca here behind me. It's a beautiful lake. We are in the scenic, a very scenic spot in northern Minnesota. We are very close to the Mississippi headwaters. So the reason why we came here today is because Itasca County is one of the two counties in Minnesota that has the most reported Sasquatch sightings, and the other one is St. Louis County. And I intend to hit up both this traveling season, this spring, summer, and fall. And really the goal for today is just to scout things out, take a look around, and we are looking for evidence of Sasquatch. So we're looking for sightings. That would be the gold standard of what we'd hope to find. Sasquatch tree structures, we talked about those a lot last year. Footprints, I've been doing a lot of research on Sasquatch footprints, reading Dr. Jeff Meldrum's book. He's a pretty famous PhD in the field of Sasquatch, and he has done a lot of work on Bigfoot footprints. So those are all things that we're looking for today. We're going to try to get as far off the beaten path as possible, because we know that Sasquatch is going to be located in areas where there is going to be very few people. So right now we are still somewhat close to the visitor center. We are in the state park, and we're going to really try to get as far off the beaten path as possible to try to get out into the sticks a little bit today, so that we can try to find tree structures and evidence for Sasquatch. And the goal is, if we get somewhere where we think there may be potential sightings or potential evidence for Sasquatch, and the goal is really going to be to pray over that territory, consecrate it to the Lord, and then also document what we find. So hopefully, if we find good evidence for it, that we can return at a later date and do more in-depth research. So this is really about taking the beachhead today and getting our feet wet, and then we can return hopefully to find more as well. I'll do a good panorama of the lake here, because it's really gorgeous of northern Minnesota, of Lake Itasca, but we'll see what we find today. This is Lake Itasca, guys. So as you can tell, it is very beautiful. Just doing a panorama here. We're not going to be close to the lake for too long, because we're going to hit some of these trails, and we're going to try to get deeper out into the woods. But this just gives you a really good scenic look at northern Minnesota. And like I said, we are very close to the headwaters of the Mississippi River, so this is a good place to be here. Alright guys, these are the Mississippi headwaters. This is where the Mississippi River starts. It goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, or if you're following the words of our esteemed president, the Gulf of America.
No, Judah, come here. Judah, go to this side. You just go that way? You see one just go that way?
So we've been hiking around some of the trails, really on the north end, really just around the Mississippi headwaters, around the north end of the lake. If you see that beach that's directly behind me there, you see it there, that's really where we started, and we've essentially worked our way pretty much around this whole area behind me. And now if I turn around this way, we're really going to head west, and we're going to head more into the woods that way, and we're going to see there's some more trails that are more off the beaten path. There's a lot of people enjoying their springtime. There's a lot of people hiking around here, so we're going to try to get a little deeper into the woods and go from there. Well, you guys will have to forgive half the screen being blocked by the mount, but I have my phone on the mount here. We're just driving through. This is the west end of the park. This is a one-way. There's a couple trails up here. We're really trying to get as far away from the pedestrians as possible, and this side of the park is a lot less inhabited than closer to the lake. So we're just trying to get a little bit more off the beaten path here and see if we can do some hiking on this side of the park. So here we have some stuff interlocking together. Come back this way. I'm trying to keep my voice down to some extent anyway. This one here is pretty interesting. See how the tree is bent like that? This tree here is absolutely massive. I just want to really highlight this. This is really cool. Looking at this, I think the plaque says that it is 112. It was 112 feet 6 inches at its height. It used to be one of the tallest trees in Minnesota. You know, with all this stuff I talk about Nephilim and giants and how everything was bigger in the pre-flood world, you know, when you think of like how much bigger the trees would have been, more oxygen in the atmosphere, just, man, all this stuff, once you really get into it, let me just look at how big this tree trunk is. It's really not as far-fetched as you think to think that things used to be a lot bigger than they used to. This is a pretty big tree, and I mean, this is in 2025, so what could it have been like back in the day, you know, before the curse on the earth had degraded everything to the point where it is now? It's just a very interesting question. So here we have some stuff interlocking together. Come back this way. I'm trying to keep my voice down to some extent anyway. This one here is pretty interesting. See how the tree is bent like that? We're in kind of a marsh area here. You got a bog in front of me, and we got some trees and some deadfall. Nothing super crazy in terms of tree structure. There's definitely some stuff that's been tipped over from natural deadfall, but we haven't really seen anything that's been super off the charts today. Nothing. A couple things I've seen where I'm like, maybe, but nothing incredibly compelling. Part of me always thinks if I was going to find him, it'd be in a marsh like this. Just read a lot of stuff that they're in wetlands. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. but anyways, worth. Well, look who I found. He's not Bigfoot, but I found our friend the garden snake here, and I was hiking, and there he was. Oh, hey buddy, you're gonna be in the movie. I hope you don't mind. Well, we found another friend for the movie. Oh, there he goes. No Bigfoot, but find a lot of other animals on the trails. Beautiful day at the very least. Well, that is as scenic. That's as scenic of a view as you're gonna get. That is northern Minnesota at its absolute best. It's probably gonna be a pretty good note to end on. That's just gorgeous. Well, guys, we're on the western edge of the park here, and we got more water behind us, and it's been a gorgeous day. Been able to explore a lot of the trails, been able to cover a lot of good ground today. I didn't really see as much as I was hoping to see in terms of hard evidence, but I definitely think it was worth it in terms of just getting up here, scouting out the territory, seeing what's going on. I think if I was going to come up to Itasca County in the future, might even try to get outside the park a little bit more than I did, even though I covered a lot of the trails all through the ring of the park, which I think is a good starting point. It's a good foundation to build on if we're going to return to this area. But yeah, I just didn't see as much as we were hoping today. I know sensationalism sells, and so I could try to give you some phony Sasquatch tree structures. I could stomp my feet and create some bad footprints, but you guys are too smart for that anyway. So one day at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and we're going to just keep searching. But I am glad that we got the year started. We have a game plan, RTM, for this year, and we're following it. So stay tuned, guys. A lot of exciting stuff coming up in the weeks and months to come. We are just getting started here for 2025, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then check out our website at www.reformedtruther.com.